Last week, Affinity released version 1.10 of all of their software across the board, and I've got some thoughts on it, and it's not going to be what you think it is. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave Connery. I'm an artist and designer based in Southern California, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the video I wanted to make today, but unfortunately, it's something I have to make. It's something I have to share because I believe that there's a lot of people who come to my channel expecting me to have an opinion about this. Honestly, thought I was not going to have much of an opinion about it. I was actually really looking forward to, just saying, hey, nothing really, aside from the fact that it was going to be faster, there's not really anything happening. Let's just go ahead and move on and wait for the next version. Fortunately, that's not what happened. Unfortunately, I got hit with the exact opposite of what I expected. Many of you know that I do most of my work in Affinity Photo because I like the collage aspect, I like the grittiness. I'm not as big into clean stuff as some people do in Designer. I do build stuff in Affinity Publisher, but I haven't been doing a whole lot of multi-page documents lately, so I haven't really needed it. The latest version promised to be faster, more stable, and all these other great things that would make it easier for me to do my job. Unfortunately, that is not my experience. My experience is that it got worse. So what you see on the screen here are a couple of renderings that I did prior to upgrading to 1.10. These were done in 1.9.3. I was just playing around, adding some filters and some adjustments to some type. Found some stuff that was really cool. This one I liked. This one was pretty cool too. And then this one was like, I was soaked on this one. I was like, I can't wait to replicate this so that I can share it with my people in a video. Unfortunately, I upgraded to 1.10 and I couldn't replicate this at all. Even opening the exact same file that I had, it would not look like this. I don't know why, I don't know what the problem was, but something changed between 1.9 to 1.10. And while I was working on this file in the new version of 1.10, it was really, really slow. My machine was just churning. I thought like my fan was gonna explode. My battery was getting drained like crazy. It was the most uncharacteristic thing that I expected to happen from this version. I went onto the forum and I posed the question within the bugs section. One of the support guys commented there, and he was really helpful, and I really appreciate him. He said, well, you probably need to upgrade your hardware acceleration to make sure that it's up to speed. If you go into the preferences, this is where it looks like. You go in here and then you go hardware acceleration, enable metal computer acceleration. I had mine to set to OpenGL. What he told me it needed to be was enable metal computer acceleration. Now, I don't know if this is an Affinity thing or if this is a Mac thing or whatever. This is not my area of expertise by any stretch of the imagination. I set that up, and when you do that, it makes you restart and all that. And as soon as I restarted, I couldn't reproduce this, period. But when I upgraded to metal hardware acceleration, I couldn't even reproduce the stuff that I was doing just prior to that. This is a version that I'd done in 1.10 before I had initiated the hardware acceleration. And this image you see right here is actually just an image because I took a screenshot and I placed it in here. But when I do this, when I unclick that and you see it, this is what it looks like. Now, part of that was because the field blur right here, you can see this field blur. I'm gonna take all of this off, and you can see when I'm on this field blur, there's nothing on there. That I don't know why, but it broke the field blur. I wanna do a live filter, and then go blur, and then go field blur. I'm gonna do a tutorial on field blurs in the future because I think they're really cool, and that's kind of what got me started down this whole path. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that one because I think it's broken. So here we go. We've got this one, and I'm gonna bring that up, and you can see, I can start to see some stuff happening, but it's all based on the, whoa, these crazy nodes. I'm just gonna throw a couple in here real quick just so you can see what's happening. The way you control these is really, it's almost unintuitive, the way this works. So you can see, it's got some stuff, and if I went in here and really kind of messed with it, I might be able to get somewhere close to this, but I couldn't replicate this. You see how it's got this kind of like the double line and all that in there? I couldn't figure out how to get this done again. And don't even get me started on this one. This one's never gonna happen again. Luckily, I saved this one image, so at least I had it. You would think that the reason that I was having all these memory issues and the RAM and all that I was working on some major file. Like I was working on some big, gigantic file, and that's why it was chugging along. But no, 1920 by 1080p. It's essentially the same size of the thumbnails that I use for this video. But for some reason, 1.10 without the hardware acceleration just could not handle it. I'm working on some halftone brushes that I'm going to eventually, once I get this figured out, I'm going to eventually share it with the world after the metal acceleration, after all of this stuff, I was working with these brushes and the redraw on the brush was still slower than it was with 1.9. I was just like, what is going on? This is the exact opposite of what I expect. So I'm not particularly stoked about version 1.10, and hopefully when they get to 1.10 point whatever, 1, 2, 3, whatever they decide to, you know, tackle some of these little issues, that it'll fix some things for me. At the moment, my productivity is in the toilet, and that sucks, and it's going to be a sticking point if they don't get it fixed for me. I can't work slower, Affinity. You promise faster. You promise more stable. I can't do the opposite of that. Can't have any more crashes. I can't have any more slowness and sluggishness and overheating computers. I want to back your play, but right now, I can't. Do me a favor, go down in the comments and let me know what your particular experience is. Maybe I'm the only one that's not lucky. Maybe I'm the only one that's been suffering from some of this stuff. Maybe you want to try and replicate this exact process. If you can look at it, I've got a text layer, a field blur, a gradient blur, a motion blur, a halftone blur. Try it and see if maybe you're getting the same issues that I was. I don't know. It's up to you. But if you did have some experience with this, do me a favor, go down in the comments and let me know what your experience is, because I want to talk about it. I want to discuss it. Of course, I'm going to be making more stuff. I got Shirtember coming up, and I've got to have this ready for Shirtember. You don't know what Shirtember is? You better go ask somebody. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. This has been great. I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Be good today, be even better tomorrow. I'll see you soon, but not before you watch these. I made them for you.